Dream is real.
Oh, you know what's cool? When the movie came out, part of the promotion was like life-size replicas of the whole family sitting on a couch in like the lobby of movie theaters he was playing in. And one of my oldest friends is blind. And we got to like take him up to the figures and get him to feel what they all looked like, and he never obviously he had no idea what they looked like until that moment. It was really awesome.
Wow,
it would have been really awkward if he was like feeling the characters and going, "Yeah, I don't get it."
No, it blew his mind. It was so cool to see.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
So I kind of want to get to the other part of the show. Sure. There's Simpsons questions. So, like we mentioned that you have an unusual sleep disorder, correct?
I did. I was just explaining that a little earlier. I was a sleepwalker. I didn't notice it as much when I was younger, although I do remember a couple stories here and there. It was really when I
slept right through it, did you?
Slept right through it. You know, it's hard to know if you're sleepwalking if no one's there to make fun of you in the morning.
It's a tree falling in the forest kind of thing.
But I'd say around college is when I really started doing it a lot. And then when I moved to LA and I lived alone, I would find myself waking up in my hallway trying to open my door. Or I'd have a lot of, I'd see like apparitions in my room, and I was convinced my apartment was haunted, but then I'd realize that I'd see them everywhere, anywhere I slept, and so...
Some of us had to buy drugs in college for that.
You're
lucky.
Bundle.
Yeah.
It's a really economical way to party if you don't mind occasionally like wandering off into the street in the middle of the night. But I do have one story in particular that was probably it was sort of my claim to fame amongst my roommates in college. This was at the beginning, so I actually wasn't aware of how much I was sleepwalking. I had a roommate in college named Stephanie, and she came in and sat on my bed in the morning, and she was looking at me very seriously, and I was like, "What's up, Stephanie?" And she's like, "Do you not remember what happened last night?" And I was like, "Oh, no, don't remember. I hadn't been drinking. I came home, went to bed, and I had no idea what she was talking about." Apparently, she woke up in the middle of the night, and she had a bathroom that kind of shared a laundry room, and she flipped the light switch on, and I was sitting it was a front-loading dryer. I was sitting on the dryer and peeing. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm peeing." She said, "Why are you peeing in the dryer?" And I said, "I'm not. I'm peeing in the toilet." Just like Napoleon Dynamite. Meanwhile, her clothes were in the dryer. Let me just point that out. I close the dryer, I turn it on, which I imagine is my version of flushing the toilet, my sleepwalking, and then I leave the room.
That's why
the rest is history.
If you go to San Jose State to this day, people still tell stories of old lint trap. Old lint trap Climo.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah,
that's awful. Ding. Okay. Anyway.
But wait, so real quick, just because I think we need to paint the proper picture. It was a front-loading dryer, but you were sitting on top of it, or you were sitting half in, half out of the dryer.
That was my first question.
I was using the lid, I guess the front-loading lid part as a seat, but I was tucked in pretty well, so that enough that it did a little damage. Yeah.
Wow.
Next time, use the washer, I guess.
That would have been
more
better.
practical.
Next time.
So were you sleepwalking? Forgive me if you mentioned this. Were you sleepwalking your whole life, or did you just notice it in college, or what?
If I was doing it when I was younger, I didn't notice it. I think it started really happening more and more as I entered college. I think it had more to do with anxiety, because I had really bad anxiety around that time. My mom passed away when I was 21, and and then I moved to LA when I was on my 23rd birthday. So it was a very transitional, hard time for me. And I think it got really bad around that time. And then when I was living alone, I had never lived alone before, and I think I just was, trying to push a lot of my anxiety away during the day, and it would pop up at night. So I'd gotten good enough at least I thought, managing it during the day, but I wasn't managing it at all. I was just pushing it down so that it would pop up in the middle of the night. And it'll happen still now. If it does, it's usually like there'll be a week where it happens, and then it won't again. It's not as common, and it's usually because I'm stressed out for some reason. So.
Wow.
Did you end up living in Watts or something?
Not living there, but walking there.
Yeah, I just opened my eyes and I was at the Watts Tower. So I'm like, what? How did this happen?
This is trouble.
I'm in a sequel to Ricochet.
Well, yes. Aside from the laundry incident, what was your worst Do you have an idea of like other embarrassing incidents?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's see. I woke up one night and I had friends staying over and they were sleeping in the living room, and I woke up to a disembodied head flying at me, like coming at me with. I remember I can picture in my head, like it was like a tail behind it, almost like a comet, and it was flying right at me. And I sat up and I threw my remote control at the wall, and it shattered into a bunch of pieces. My friends ran in and they're like, "Liz, what's up? What happened?" And I was like, there was a head that was flying at them. And they're like, "What?" I was like, "Nothing. I just turned off the TV and threw the remote again." Like, whatever. Like, it was so embarrassing. There have been, on more than one occasion, I have freaked out because my husband has gotten, like, I'll go to bed usually a little earlier than him, and he'll like get in the bed next to me, and I'll wake up. Like one time, he lay down next to me, and I opened my eyes and looked right at him, and just screamed at the top of my lungs. And he was like, "What is wrong?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't realize it was you." And he was like, "Who did you think it would be?" Like, so yeah, that's always fun.
Wow. Were you ever diagnosed with like sleep paralysis? If you have like visions and that tied to it?
I have. I've never done any sort of sleep study, and I think I probably should, especially because well, and you mentioned that you have apnea, and I've had a couple, I don't know if this is what that could be, but like I've had a couple nightmares where I'm drowning or something's happening, and I wake up and I'm like, like I hadn't been breathing for a while. And so that is a concern of mine, like that it could be.
If you have insurance at all, get a sleep study.
Okay.
Seriously, just do it. Yeah, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think that, and I have had sleep paralysis, not very often. That is terrifying when that happens. Yeah. But I have had that a couple times.
While you're laying down, or what?
Laying down, like I'll open my eyes, or either I'll open my eyes or my eyes will be closed and I can't open them, and I'm awake and I want to get up and move around, but I can't move.
Do they know why that happens? Is it because your body is trying to protect you from sleepwalking, or what?
I think it might just be a, like, you're not quite asleep, you're not kind of awake sort of thing, where you're in this middle stage and your body isn't awake, or your brain's not connecting to your body or something. I don't know.
Did you ever hear that people that have been diagnosed with sleep paralysis have like recurring visions that they share?
Is it the old hag syndrome? Have you heard of that? Yeah.
It's deeply unsettling.
Wait. Go on. Not familiar.
So there, and this has never happened to me, but I think it must be tied.
It's really upsetting, Carl.
There's just something about the way, if you guys could see his face, he was so giddy to hear
this.
I
promise you, if you Google old hag syndrome, it is a thing.
I want to hear this.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. So this is so funny to look at.
It's a real problem, Carl.
It's a real problem.
It's super just really upsetting.
My apologies to everybody hearing my snorting. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just like, I think old hag syndrome. I think Will and Grace just got renewed for another season. It
do not mock Karen. Anyway, I love Will and Grace.
Karen is a goddess.
Yes.
So this thing is supposed to happen where, like I just described, that happens where you wake up, you're not awake, not asleep. But a lot of people report having seen a woman, like an old lady, like climbing up and like sitting on their chest and making it so they can't move, almost like pinning them down.
That was my last girlfriend.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I hope she's listening.
That's it. That's all I got.
But like the fact that like it's something that happens to people that have sleep paralysis is really just upsetting to me.
The eerie thing is that so many people have had it happen, and it's similar. I've never had that happen, but I'm assuming that the sleep paralysis and then the apparitions, like, because I do see a lot of. I wake up all the time and see people like standing in my room.
Oh my God.
Have you ever tried to draw them?
I haven't. Oh, like
for a police report.
Have you heard of? There's actually a person in my room. Okay. No, like, have you heard of the Dear David thing? There's a
no relation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, this whole time, that's our sound guy. I forgot to introduce Dr. David Robinson.
That's David Robinson.
Good to be here.
Go ahead.
This is my Dear David segment. I'm gonna know. Dear David, thank you for recording. I'm sure a lot of you have actually heard, because it's very popular on Twitter, but there is a comic artist named Adam Ellis, and he has been experiencing his apartment he claims is haunted, and he has drawn the picture. It's a little boy, and he has like an injury on his head, so it's like part of his It's very creepy. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't care, because it's still super creepy, and I recommend everyone check it out. Adam Ellis is his name. I think his Twitter handle is Moby Dick head, and he has it pinned right at the top. It's like it's creepy. It's good. But it's in the same vein of what we're talking about, sort of.
Oh. I think maybe if you incorporated them into some kind of project, or like maybe it'd be cathartic for you. Maybe you could sort of like get them out of your head,
or maybe they'll appear and like come off the paper, like in Take On Me music video, and then they'll haunt me in real life.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, and then there's the whole Twin Peaks Bob issue that we're not even...
Actually, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Forget I said anything.
But
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
This building, by the way, is we're in the Gaylord apartments. I'll just say it, whatever. But we're in the Gaylord apartments in LA, and it's like known to be
there's nothing wrong
world
with that.
famous. No. Oh no, I just mean like so I don't get stalked by all my fans.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of people knocking at the door. And,
we love you,
here on the 12th floor.
Yeah, exactly. As Edgar
yes,
says.
we do.
Yeah.
But no, but it's like it's funny because there's so many sightings supposedly of ghosts and stuff. I've never encountered it really, but there was this one guy that I got a ride on Uber last year to a movie screening, and I get in the car and he goes, "Oh my!" And he was from Israel, he had this amazing accent. And he's just like, "Oh my God, you live there?" And I'm like, "I'll skip the accent. I can't do this."
Just imagine,
especially when I'm hoarse. Just imagine Israeli. Okay, whatever. So he's just like, "Oh my God, do you live there?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "It's famous. It's famous." I'm like, "I know. It's a cool building." And he's like, "No. I mean, the whole world knows. How can you live there?" I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "It's haunted. It's haunted, man." He's like, "You better watch out." And I'm like, but I never really seen anything, but supposedly all over the place.
You're going to walk out and there's going to be a green blob floating at the end of the hallway, eating a tray off of the the room service.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the nice gay doorman in the lobby is going to be like, "You were always here, Carl."
On a semi-related note, but still taking us off topic, the Cecil Hotel downtown, aren't they converting that into luxury apartments?
Oh,
that's the one where the haunted the Night Stalker lived there. Yeah, girl disappeared a couple of years ago and was found in the water tank for the building.
Listen, I'm all for preservation of historical landmarks. They need to burn that shit to the ground.
That place is creepy.
It's also
a lot of sage.
Take her down.
It's also where American Horror Story Hotel is based on, for those who aren't familiar.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I think last I heard, because they tried to make it, I don't want to say boutique hotel, but I think that's what they were trying to do with it.
It's called Stay on Main for a while.
Stay on Main, and then they're I think trying to redo it again. But by the way, like I have two speeds. Cute animal comics and the macabre, like anything. It's true. Anything
totally,
creepy.
So Happy Time Friends.
Yeah, it's like it's
cute animals and ultraviolence.
I think what it is that it's like, and I'm drawing all day. I'm doing kids books. I'm doing cutesy things, and then in my head I have my earphones in it. It's all true crime podcasts. I just I don't know. It's like a weird balance that I kind of strike.
Basically itchy and scratchy.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
And, we should plug from the Radio Titans empire. If you're listening to True Crime Podcast, check out The Gray Zone with Mark Ebner.
Oh, okay. No, I have not.
It's amazing.
We'll fill you in more, but Radio Titans plug.
Awesome.
And then also, I was going to say you should also check out a site. I recommend this to anybody. It's called Vigilant Citizen. It sounds like some sort of weird, like Christian fundamentalist. It's about all this occult symbolism in videos, but not from a judgy perspective, just like pointing things out. And I found
it's batshit crazy.
No, but I found this stuff because of Alyssa Lamb. I was trying to find out more about her, and they had the best breakdown ever of the video and everything. So if you want to know what we're talking about, Hotel Cecil, Alyssa Lamb, find Vigilant Citizen, and then search Alyssa Lamb, ELISSALEM. It's the craziest thing ever.
It's scary stuff. Don't do it.
Ooh,
do it. I'm all about the macabre too.
Oh yeah.
With it.
Yeah. High five.
Yeah. So, then, as far as like any other weird places that you ever had sleepwalking, or
not that I recall. It's mostly been. I definitely think I noticed it the most in my apartment when I was alone or when I was living alone. I don't think.
Has it gone away? Do you still do it?
I don't sleepwalk. I haven't. The last thing I do remember about maybe 2 or 3 months ago, waking up and running to my bedroom door. and that I don't know why. And
geez.
but that was the last that I remember.
Did you ever, or do you currently have like extra locks, or they have the? You said you have a 4-year-old. Did you save any of the doorknob
Like a
protectors?
safety?
Yeah.
No.
Does Colin have to zip you up into a special bag when you get
Put the restraints on, darling.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that is a thing, though, because
Sure.
do you ever